Good afternoon, students. Last class we have discussed about digital to digital conversion, signal conversion. That we discussed unipolar, bipolar, and biphase technique. So today we will discuss about same digital to digital signal conversion of bipolar scheme. Okay. So here three voltage label are there: positive, negative and 0. Three voltage label: positive, negative and 0. Okay, so one data element is always at 0 position, and other other voltage label is what alternate between positive and negative. Okay, so there are two techniques involved: AMI and pseudo ternary. AMI and pseudo ternary. Okay, so AMI means alternate mark inversion. Alternate mark inversion means what? So here this alternate mark comes from telegraphy, that means it is 1. Okay, so here the 0 voltage is at, see this voltage diagram, uh, 0 voltage is represented as 0 axis. Okay, and binary 1 is represented as alternating voltage. Okay, now see this one 0 1 0 0 1 0. So 0 is always at 0 position, 0 axis, but 1 is here flip at the positive voltage. Okay, 0 at 0 label, then 0 label, but here 1 is the alternate voltage. Here it is the positive voltage side, but at this one position it will be what? Negative voltage side. Okay, clear everyone? So this is what the AMI, alternate mark inversion. Okay, reverse is pseudo ternary, that means one is at the 0 label, that means this axis label. Okay, one bit is encoded as 0 voltage, but 0 bit is represented as alternating voltage. Okay, for example this one 0 1 1, how this 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 is represented through pseudo ternary. Already we discussed that 0 is the first 0 is the alternate positive voltage side, then 1 is what? At 0 voltage, then 0 bit is alternate voltage, alternate negative voltage. Okay, here it is positive, here it is negative, and here again 0 means यहाँ पे जो नेगेटिव था यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा। फिर क्या आया? 1 1 मीन्स दिस इज एट 0 वोल्टेज, फिर 0 आया, मतलब प्रीवियसली ये कौन से पोजीशन में था? पॉजिटिव वोल्टेज साइड में था, अभी क्या हो जाएगा? वो नेगेटिव वोल्टेज साइड में है. So remember, AMI means alternate mark inversion. So here the 0 voltage is represented, 0 bit is represented as 0 voltage, 1 bit is represented through alternating voltage conversion. Okay, मतलब एक बार 1 पॉजिटिव वोल्टेज हुआ तो दूसरी बार ये क्या हो जाएगा? नेगेटिव वोल्टेज हो जाएगा. Like pseudo ternary means here the same technique, but it's the reverse one. Okay, so here 1 is represented as 0 voltage, 1 bit is represented as 0 voltage, but 0 is alternating one. Here 0 is positive voltage, here 0 is negative voltage, here 0 is positive voltage, here 0 is negative voltage, but here 1 is at constant 0 voltage, 1 bit is constant at 0 voltage. Okay, these two techniques are important for bipolar technique, AMI and alternate mark inversion. Okay, now we have many more scheme, but another scheme is multi-label scheme. Okay, so in this multi-label scheme we have two technique, 2B1Q and 8B60. Okay, these are the most practical encoding technique used. Okay, so 2B1Q means 2 bit pattern. Okay, here the data patterns are categorized or divided into block of 2 or pattern of 2. Okay, एंड एज वन सिग्नल एलिमेंट बिलोंग टू ए 4 लेबल सिग्नल. यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा, 4 लेबल सिग्नल 4 लेबल में रिप्रेजेंट होता है. सी दिस सिग्नल कन्वर्शन. ओके, नाउ हियर रूल इज व्हाट, टू बी वन क्यू स्कीम का रूल क्या है, 0 0 is represented as -3 voltage, 0 1 bit is represented as -1, 1 0 is +3, 1 1 is +1. जैसे कि हम लोग का क्या होता है 0 0 -3. see this one, we have 4 voltage level, -3 -1 +1 +3. okay, so we will start from 0. so 0 0 means -3, 0 1 means -1, 1 0 means 1 0 means +3, 1 1 means +1. okay, so now suppose this is the bit scheme. okay, and how this is represented, 1 1 means, see the rule, this is +1, so it will start at +1. so next bit pattern क्या है, 0 0 0 0 0 मतलब -3, so ये क्या कहाँ पे आ जाएगा, -3 पे आ जाएगा. okay, next is 0 1, see 0 1 मतलब -1, so 0 1 -1 पे आ गया. फिर क्या है 1 1 मतलब कहाँ पे आ जाएगा, +1, so it will come to +1 signal voltage. okay, so in this way this 2B 1 Q scheme work. next is 8B60. this is an interesting scheme where the conversion is done 8-bit pattern. okay, with the 8-bit pattern which is used, this coding scheme is used in 100 base 40 cable. okay, so it will encode 8-bit pattern, it will encode what, 8-bit pattern. okay, and 6 signal element में 8-bit pattern वो काम करता है. okay, so this is 2B1Q and 8B60 are the mainly used in cabling. okay, now this is block coding. block coding means the total bit stream is divided into m bit group, and they will be coded encoded block wise, and finally they will be combined. so this is what the block coding. line coding means the coding will be done bit by bit, or bit coding is done bit by bit. In case of block coding, the first the series of bits will be grouped into small group of bit, that is they are called block, and each block will be encoded to its corresponding encoded bit, and finally they will be grouped. okay, next is scrambling. so this is not in your syllabus. okay, next come to analog to digital conversion. analog to digital conversion means we have the analog signal, like whatever we have captured through mobile phone is through camera, or whatever we see through the microphone, they are the analog signal. okay, now this analog signal are to be supposed to be transmitted, then they are to be converted to what, digital signal. okay, so the most common technique is what, the pulse code modulation and delta modulation. okay, so this pulse code modulation has three phases. this is the analog signal. okay, so first the 3 phases are what, first sampling is done, then encoding, then quantization, then encoding. okay, so in the first step the analog signal is sampled, second is the analog signal is quantized, and third one is the analog signal are encoded as stream of bits. okay, so what do you mean by sampling first? so the electronics people, they understand this quite easily, because pulse code modulation, the important phase of pulse code modulation is what, sampling, where at time ts, that means at a particular time interval some samples are taken from the signal. okay, this is what the sampling in simple way. okay, now suppose here at time t0, then at this time, at this time, so some particular time interval the samples are taken. Now the waveform will be like this. Okay, so there are three types of sampling we have, so we need not have to discuss about it: ideal sampling, natural sampling, flat top sampling. But simply we can say sampling is what? A collection of sample at particular time interval or time period is called or its sample interval or sample period is called sampling. Okay, एक सैम्पल इंटरवल और सैम्पल पीरियड में सिग्नल का कुछ कुछ सैम्पल लेना एक सेम इंटरवल में, दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? द सैम्पलिंग. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट? सो अभी हम लोग को सिग्नल कैसा मिल गया? आफ्टर सैम्पलिंग वी हैव जस्ट दिस, खाली ये जो लाइन है वही मिलेगा, ये जो वेवफॉर्म है ये नहीं मिलेगा, खाली ये जो लाइन है, ये जो लाइन खाली खींचा हुआ है वही मिलेगा. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट इज क्वांटाइजेशन. ओके, सैम्पलिंग रेट, ये सारा उसका बहुत सारा टर्म है. ओके, सो क्वांटाइजेशन क्या है कि क्वांटाइजेशन इज व्हाट? गिविंग लेबल टू द सैम्पलिंग सैम्पल. लेबलिंग मतलब उसका क्या वैल्यू है उस सैम्पल ये का सैम्पल का, दैट इज व्हाट? द सैम्पलिंग क्वांटाइजेशन. ठीक है, इन सिंपल वर्ड क्वांटाइजेशन मीन्स गिविंग द sampling value, quantized value to the sample is called quantization. Okay, giving value to the sample और giving label. उसका label क्या है? label मतलब उसका magnitude, जो हम लोग का ऐसे ऐसे जो क्या सैम्पल लिए थे उसका वैल्यू क्या क्या है, कहीं पे +5, कहीं पे +2, कहीं पे, है ना? तो वो लेबलिंग करना, दैट इज कॉल्ड द क्वांटाइजेशन. ओके, so after quantization the decoding is done. So this is what the pulse code modulation. Okay, so these are the various electronics symboling terms are there, but we did not have to discuss about it. Only we need to remember that there are three phases of pulse code modulation. First one is the sampling, that means to take samples of analog signal at particular interval or at same interval of time is called sampling. Next, quantization means giving some label to the sample or giving quantized value to the sample is called quantization. And third one is what? Then decode that quantized value is called what? Is the third phase. Okay, for sampling, quantization and decoding. These are the three phases of pulse code modulation. Okay, next is the extension of the pulse code modulation is what? Delta modulation. So here modulator and demodulator are used for this. Okay, so modulator, and here is the like one second. Let me see this one. Quantization label. Okay, so here is the analog signal and here is the delta modulator. Here is the modulator which is used at the sender side, and at the receiver side the demodulator is used. Okay, so the modulator is used at the sender side to create a stream of bits from an analog signal. तो ये modulator का काम क्या है कि stream of bits represent करना analog signal से. This is what the function of the DM modulator or delta modulation modulator. Okay, the same is done at receiver side, that is demodulator. So these may be one short question in your semester, that what is or what are the phases of pulse code modulation, or write short notes on pulse code modulation. Okay, pulse code modulation and delta modulation. There are only the short question may come from this chapter only. Okay, so today we have discussed the bipolar modulation, bipolar signal conversion, and analog to digital signal conversion. Okay, next class we will discuss about digital to analog conversion. Okay.